hi, Mikey.
Well, hello, everybody. Kathy has a really good setup. She's really efficient on the road, which kind of shocks me, but I just sit back and listen and take in all the sights.
Oh, there's my screen. So yeah, getting work done from the road. We were so excited to make it to Arizona, which is the last leg of Plan A. Our final destination out west is Arizona. As soon as we entered this state, the rock formations were just the tip of the iceberg as to what we were going to see while we were here. First stop, Tucson and Voyager RV Resort, our first 55 or older club. Mike made a quick new friend. He was a little prickly. Okay, this is Voyager. We have a spa, the far end that's under shade, then an outdoor pool. There's Mikey. There's an indoor pool, but you can't really see it. And then we have the empty lap pool.
And me again.
There's Mike again. The amenities at Voyager were awesome. And my favorite part, we finally got to add another state to our map. We then decided to go to downtown Tucson to a restaurant called El Churro.
Hello, Kathy.
Can you tell us about your drink?
Well, when we were in Oak Creek, which was what part of Dallas? Weatherford, Texas. You made me try some prickly pear
And
tea.
with that, the perfect spot to enjoy it.
Wasn't the best. But when you put a little bit of liquor in there and get the prickly pear margarita, let's try it now. Oh, this is good. Cheers.
With so much to do in Tucson, we had to decide what we were going to prioritize. First up, the Pima Air and Space Museum. If you have any interest in military planes and or space flight, this is definitely the place you've got to see. They even had one of my favorite planes and Mike's favorite plane, the Top Gun, woohoo, F-14. We even got to stand outside Air Force One used by President Kennedy and President Johnson. It was quite a humbling experience for both Mike and I. So after a few hours spent looking at planes and talking about planes and seeing more planes, we decided it was time to move on to our next destination. The Mission San Xavier del Bac. It's a historic Spanish Catholic mission that's located about 10 miles south of downtown Tucson. It was founded in 1797 and is still a working Catholic church today. But before we could tour the mission, we had to get fry bread. Fry bread is apparently a traditional form of dough that is fried and then used to have taco fillings put on top of it. They call it an Indian taco, and we were told by the people at Voyager that we could not leave Tucson, Arizona until we had one.
Look at this thing.
Oh, here comes somebody to help. Are you going to help Mike eat that? Oh, baby. You're a girl, baby. Needless to say, she didn't want tomatoes. She was waiting for the beef. After lunch, it was time to tour the mission. And I'm going to leave it right here because if you ever go to Tucson, you must see this place as it is breathtaking. And just like that, our time in Tucson was done, and we had to get ready for our next trip that was going to take us north to Apache Junction, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix. So our arrival at Apache Junction was a little bit rocky. Our GPS was literally trying to take us through no man's land. But we made it to our site with this spectacular view of the Superstition Mountains. So we set up and we set out to explore the area. And man, the saguaro cacti are my favorite plant in the entire world. And that view, this is a working trip, so every once in a while I do remind Mike to take a picture of at least me working. Every day around 10 a.m. our coyote would come by to see if there were any rabbits for him. We decided to take a break from work and go over to the OK Corral, where Mike went on a 2-hour horse trip. He was out in the desert having a really nice time. The views, again, amazing.
Hello again. Just on a nice little horse ride. My buddy Dollar. Having a good old time. Telling stories. A little bumpy. But we're having a good time.
And what was I doing this whole time while Mike was horseback riding? I was playing with petrified wood, or hugging trees that were 180 million years old. And when Mike was done, we went over to Goldfield, which is a ghost town, founded in 1893, which has been restored with a lot of really cute shops and things like that, just to hang out and take in some of the sights. The next day, we were off to Sedona to visit with Kyle's best friend from growing up, Mitchell. And the views in Sedona were breathtaking. It's funny, this whole trip, Mike and I would say, how can the landscape get any different? But everywhere we turned, the landscape was way different. And Sedona does not disappoint. If you've not been, you definitely need to take some time to go. Mitchell was the best host, so we decided to spend the night. We did a little night golfing, and then we hung out.
Tell me the life that's your heart. Peeled by peel, it wasn't so bad now. And this is the life that you knew. Back when you thought that you did what you do now. That's the way out, 'cause it seems somewhere in your deepest dark dreams now. Tell me the things that you love. Right on the wall and they'll tie you apart now. Tell me a long story, how does it go now? Taking your time, can't you just let me know now?
We had a really nice time, but before we knew it, it was almost time to leave Arizona. Let me just say for the record, we should have stayed a lot longer than a week. So we drove up to Scottsdale to have dinner with Kevin and Lisa, Kelsey's parents. Kelsey is Kyle's girlfriend, for those of you that don't know. We had a really nice time. It was fun just to catch up and just to hang out on a beautiful evening outside.
Hi, I'm Kathy from Chapter 3 RV Chasing Sunshine.
And I'm her sidekick, Mike.
Not really. We have come to the end of our Plan A trip, which has led us to Apache Junction, Arizona.
As you can see in the background, what a wonderful view. I think this was probably, when you think the most amazing view out of all the places we've been?
Absolutely. The OK Corrals RV park and horse trailer park, I'm not sure exactly, but they do board horses here. And we're the only people staying here without horses, but they've been very gracious.
Very, very friendly people, nice family. I went for a horseback riding trip. We went hiking, a little bit of hiking. We were kind of concerned with the snakes and all that. Well, at least I was with
Chicken.
everything. But the spot that they put us on is at the end of their area, so as you could see,
The Superstition Mountains are behind us,
Yes,
where
and-
the Lost Dutchman gold mine is.
And
so,
this is in what, the Tonto Forest?
I don't know.
I think it's the Tonto National Forest is where this base is located.
Okay, that's good to know. So Mike wants to just give you a quick update as to what we've been doing for a month. For those of you who are watching our videos, thank you very much. Please make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes. So here comes the numbers part of thing. I was really curious with all this stuff. As most of you know, Kathy and I are newbies at this. We bought our trailer, and from there we just started going south and west.
Having never camped.
And we're pretty much novices at this, but we really wanted to kind of keep some stats. So just to give you an idea, so this is Plan A. So we started in Vermont. We drove down to Greencastle, Pennsylvania to pick up our rig. From there, we just started going down south and planning out our trek south and west. So give you an idea of what we did. So we drove from that point 2,719 miles. Now that was just our driving from park to park. In addition, what we did, because we wanted to see things and go out and sightsee and all that sorts of stuff, we drove another 1,392 miles, sightseeing, different parks and things like that.
And
a lot of grocery trips.
How many total hours in the car together
Well,
have we shared?
let me get to that. So
okay.
Total miles, including that, to get out here was 4,111 miles.
Wow.
From there, we spent $760.09 on gas,
Okay.
which basically cost us $5.40 for every mile that we drove.
Okay.
Now, normally my truck gets about 19.5 miles to the gallon, but because of this rig and it's on the heavier side, we actually averaged about 12.1 miles to the gallon because of the rig, which is not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
And you were smart enough to go way below the speed limit, so sticking at about 55 miles per hour,
Yeah, well,
which was a good thing. No,
yes.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think I was smart enough because you pretty much dictated that I wasn't going over 55 miles an hour.
That's not true. That's not true.
So no, it was. I agree with Kathy. We were just newbies at this, so we didn't want to push it. So yes, I probably averaged about 55 miles an hour on the highway, which some areas were what 75, 80.
75, 80. Yeah, through Texas, there were some where the speed limit was 80.
So, in addition to that, so for the total places that we stayed at 13 parks, which included staying at my mom's one night. We stayed at Cracker Barrel in Weatherford, outside
Greenville,
of
Texas.
Greenville, Texas.
We also stayed in Margie and Ray's driveway.
Yes, which was awesome because that's when the trailer part of it broke off. So I was grateful to have them, and they didn't charge us too much. So in total, we were on the road roughly 36 nights in the rig, 13 parks. The parks itself that we did pay for cost us about $1,368, which is not too bad. And our groceries, which was a little high, we wanted to stock up and we didn't know what we wanted, this, that, the other thing. That was another roughly $940 throughout that 36 nights, which is...
That includes eating out.
Yes, that does include eating out.
Yes.
So we had some really nice places along the way. Don't worry, we social distance, we wore our masks, we tried to do what we could.
We had a lovely dinner
Yes.
with our new friends Paula and Jim. We had a lovely lunch with Mitchell in Sedona.
Oh, yes. All this stuff was...
And tonight we get to see Kevin and Lisa.
Yes.
So that'll be nice as well.
Yeah, so seeing a lot of friends and meeting new people. Because of our son and our daughter and their girlfriend and boyfriend, Kelsey and Matt, what we wanted to do on the advice of them was we wanted to stake out some good Mexican places, some good, we haven't found a really good barbecue place, but maybe that's on the way back.
In Texas.
Something, I think Livingston, Texas or something like
Yes.
that we might stop at. So that's pretty much the stats that we have. So this is which is amazing that we're already at the end almost of our
1 month.
1 month, our first third,
A
Plan
third,
A trip. So we made it the whole way out here. So now the other part, we wake up early tomorrow morning and we make the trek and we just start going back through
Les Cruces.
Les Cruces.
Les Cruces, New Mexico.
And then hopefully we're
Very
going to get
nice.
through Texas again. That's going to be a very long trip. But then we're going to go see the Gulf, go around the Gulf, right? If we can, go visit some places. And at some point, hopefully after Thanksgiving, which is just around the corner, we will be somewhere in Florida visiting with Angie and Chris for a good month, which we're really excited about that.
Yes.
So what we wanted to share with you was our first third. It was exciting. It was entertaining. It was challenging. I think
challenges.
I think you and I've learned some stuff about each other. Oh, I wanted you mentioned earlier the other thing.
What?
I didn't write this down. We were in the car. Why didn't I write this down?
I don't know.
But essentially, it was kind of funny. So, literally in the truck itself, we were in there together for 93.
That was a few days ago.
Yes.
So I'm going to say it's up to at least 100 hours.
Yeah. So we're up to 100
total hours in the truck together.
Yes.
And we're both still here.
Which, if you think of that, that's literally 4 solid days with just her and I and the radio and.
Wait, isn't okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So we just. I wouldn't say there was a few silent moments, but a lot of times we were scoping things out. We were talking. We were chatting. You chatting more than me.
I was chatting. You were driving.
And stuff. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoy. So after this, with Kathy's great editing capabilities and all that stuff, hopefully what you're going to see is right after this clip, you are going to see what we saw every single night, which was a time lapse of the sunset and the moon rising. You have to see it quick. It's up and to the right of this mountain, and what we saw literally every single evening while we're here. So thanks very much, Ron and Jane Feldman, for putting us up in a great spot and the OK Corrals, and we'll see you next time.